stress raises your cortisol levels, raises your blood pressure, puts you in fight or flight consistently. It's not good for the body. It's linked to higher mortality and morbidity. 80% of our challenges or things that prevent us from reaching our goals are actually internal, not external.
Hello, this is Dr. Anita Lwanga. I'm here with my dear friend, Dr. Tolulope Olabintan. She's a board-certified family medicine physician. She's also board-certified in lifestyle medicine, which is incredible, and is a fellow of the American Academy of Family Physicians. And Dr. Tolu, I thought I heard word on the street is you're also doing obesity medicine. Is that true?
Yes, I'm working on my certification this year.
Okay, very soon. She's also going to be board certified in obesity medicine. Dr. Tolu is located in Mansfield, Texas. So all my people who are in Texas, you need a family doctor, go find Dr. Tolu. I can vouch for her. She is incredible. She's not just your typical doctor that's going to give you prescriptions and say, go next. She will actually talk to you. She listens to you. And she is like that friend who will tell you the truth in a loving way. You need to hear it, but with the goal of improving your health. So Dr. Tolu wants to help her patients live long and live well because she believes the quantity of life is just as important as the quality of life. She places an emphasis on lifestyle changes that can help patients live and thrive throughout their life. And lifestyle changes are so important. As a physician, I'm also learning more and more as I counsel my patients. People don't just want to take pills. They want to hear, how can I change my life? What can I eat? How should I be exercising? What other things should I be doing to improve my health? And also Dr. Tolu talks about natural supplements that can help you improve your health. I'm also learning from her. And I think this is a thing that in Western medicine, we need to continue to explore because a lot of our current medications are from natural medications. Dr. Tolu has a wealth of knowledge, has a huge fund of knowledge, and is so passionate about helping her patients. And despite her busy schedule, she agreed to be here with us to talk with us again. So Dr. Tolu, thank you. I always appreciate every minute I'm able to spend with you and talk with you.
I love our conversations, and thank you for having me on again. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So the first question is going to be an icebreaker. And I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite mantra or a quote that keeps you motivated?
Because you know it's going to be a Bible verse. It's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So it's like I don't get to do life alone. So there are resources, there are people that God will send in life's journey to help me do the things and be the things. That's a big pressure relief for me. So yeah, that's big.
Yes, that is very good because there's a lot to be done in all of our lives, whether we're physicians or not. And knowing that we have a higher source of power to help us is crucial to help us getting through our day and helping us accomplish everything we need to accomplish. And I want you to remind us, I know some of our audience are people who have listened to your previous episode, but for those who are listening for the first time, please remind us about your journey to becoming a family medicine doctor and how you decided to focus on lifestyle medicine as well.
So family medicine, believe it or not, I actually went to med school thinking I'd do peds. I like kids. I'm a big kid, actually. I love their innocence and vulnerability and, you know, how they find joys in the most awkward situations. And then I got to med school and kids, when they're sick, they kick and they bite. And I was like, I don't know. Like kids. And then I heard about family medicine. I'm like, what's this? And then I met Dr. Duncan, mad respect and shout out to her, in Jersey. And she was seeing a patient, his daughter, his granddaughter, so the daughter's daughter, and the daughter delivered a baby and she was going to circumcise the boy. Like she saw 4 generations. I talk about legacy and impact. So I was mesmerized about the idea of taking care of the whole family. And as a family physician, if you see one person, indirectly you're helping whoever is tied to that one person. So I was fascinated by that. And so I loved it. And it also allowed me to see women and men and kids. So I loved the field and I got sold. And then as far as lifestyle, I'd actually struggled internally with the guilt of giving patients medicines that I knew the side effects. And I thought it was only an internal struggle that was unique to me. My grandma, she was 93 when she passed. She had pancreatic cancer. But she had all her teeth. She was big on herbs. She didn't do sugar. And so I would write some of her recipes, like jute leaves, good for lowering cholesterol. Cayenne pepper is anti-inflammatory. Turmeric, the different herbs. And so I kept looking for things to help patients that had nothing to do with medicine. And then I heard somebody else share that in a group somewhere on social media. I'm like, I'm not the only one. Wow, you always think you're the only person, the whole number of billions of people on earth that's going through this unique struggle. And then there was a whole class of people who felt the same way that they felt medical school. And I love my medical school, don't get me wrong, but they didn't do a service when it comes to lifestyle and using foods to help. And I said, oh my God, this exists. So I took the course, got certified, and then it gave me liberty to fully express that side of me. Hey, if you did this, you could get off the medicine. And so seeing patients do that in real time has even added more flames to the passion to help people. Partner with your doctor. Use medicines, they're a gift, but don't forget the foods and the other pillars of health. So that's how I came to this junction. Yes.
Wow, your grandma gave you such a beautiful legacy because she had knowledge that is oftentimes not passed on. But a lot of people talk about their grandmas or their great grandmas or great aunts who used herbs and they're trying to figure out what they're using. That's amazing that you got to spend time with your grandma and write down a lot of her recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a legacy. Did other people come to her for advice as well to help improve their health?
My mom was a big, I could see she got some of her healthy obsessions from my grandma. My mom is the kind of person, I know how to eat romaine lettuce as a snack. Like I went to a party this weekend and they had real fried chicken and fried meats and everybody ate the meat. I'm like, oh, I can eat that for you. So I would eat that piece. So she would reward me with, good job, here's a papaya. Not candy or cookies. She would snack on sweet potatoes. Like she just normalized that for me. Sometimes I feel for my patients because they're not used to that. So they're like, you're weird, doc. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's because the parents I had, they brought me up this way. And my mom got it from my grandma to a certain degree.
That's amazing. Your grandma sounds like my kind of person. You're snacking on sweet potatoes. That's my kind of person. Amazing legacy. Besides your habits of eating healthy, what is another habit that you think has made the biggest difference in your life?
Redefining what self-care means. I'll be honest with you, self-care, when the whole self-care movement, I think COVID brought that to light. It's always been, but I used to think self-care meant you have to go do your nails. I hate doing my nails. They poke your cuticles. Like it's almost painful. So I'll go for spa days. Those are nice too. But really understanding that self-care are things that you do that actually help you feel good. So when I adjusted my mindset to understand what that really meant for me, the individual, not as a group of women, then it helped me a lot. So my self-care routine has been a game changer, my morning routine. So it's early, it's prayer, it's meditating, it's journaling. So my gratitude journal, it's then prayer time with the family before, and then exercise. Sometimes exercise is weaved into that. So that has become a non-negotiable most days of the week. And I've seen it as a game changer. I didn't used to think of it as that way. I thought those hours I could do it. I could use it to do something else. But I found that in doing that, my capacity has increased, my focus, my energy, and my stress levels. So it's self-care, like really understanding what that means for you. For me, it has really been a big game changer. Yes.
I love how you talk about redefining self-care for yourself, because I think a lot of people, especially a lot of us in medicine, tend to hate that kind of like self-care or do this like mindfulness. And you're like, what does that mean? Okay, mindfulness, you're going to tell me to do some stretches and then all my stress is supposed to go away. But I like how you said, okay, I'm going to figure out what does it mean for myself and what does it mean for my health and reducing my stress levels. And I agree. I think it should be something that's very personal. But I think a lot of the things you're saying are things that anyone can apply to feel like they're taking care of themselves, to have more energy and to be able to give to others. And you're also inspiring me too. I have my morning routine. I'm like, I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, I need to start doing that exercise in the morning because at the end of the day, it's happening. So I really love how you redefine self-care for yourself and you're really being consistent and reaping the rewards of it. And one thing you said is that it reduces your stress levels. So as a physician, I'd like you to talk a little bit more about stress for our audience, some of whom are physicians or non-physicians. Why is stress something that we would like to minimize? And what are some of the things that can happen to us as a result of uncontrolled stress?
Ooh, stress raises your cortisol levels, raises your blood pressure, puts you in fight or flight consistently. It's a good place to be when there's actually something to be fearful or to run away from, like a lion about to chase you. Yeah. So you should have it, but not consistently. It's not good for the body. It's linked to higher mortality and morbidity. We know the studies, and we're big as doctors on the data. So that's what the data is saying. So it then becomes a need to not run away from stress, because in life, your stressors, it's adjusting how we respond to it. It was this week, there's a chapter in the book we read, and I happened to pick the chapter on, I can't remember the topic, but essentially it's saying that 80% of our challenges or things that prevent us from reaching our goals are actually internal, not external. So the stress happening, yes, are there things that are catastrophic? Yes, but a lot of times it's how we respond to it that's the issue. So I'll give an example. We have team members, there's a delay in bringing the patients in the back. I used to like, oh my God, I still get a little irritated, but I say, you know what, I can catch up on my notes. So it's not, of course, I tell them I need to move faster, but I don't sit there pent up and agitated. I'm like, okay, I can use this to do this, I can use it to do that. It's okay. We had an issue where last minute the lab tech didn't show up. We had people waiting, so we had to do it. So what can we do to make sure those who are ahead know? Let's send a text blast. Let's call. It's solutions mindset. Yes, the challenge is, how can I make this work in spite or despite what's happening? So for my patients, I tell them road rage. I said, at the end, you'll still meet at the same stoplight. Like, it does, let them go ahead of you. It's really not that big a deal. Well, at work, you're triggered by the emails and the inboxes. If it was zero, you're out of a job. It's job security. So mindset adjusts to the stressors or the triggers. Relax. The numbers with this, it always go up. If not, there's no job. So it's refusing triggers, and in dealing with patients, some days I really come in saying, today I purpose in my heart, just like Daniel did, no one's going to take me off. So it's, you're not going to essentially agitate me today, but I'm not going to let you. Yeah. So it's your response to it. It sounds easy. It sounds, yeah, sure. I don't want to downplay stressors in people's life. It's just, we have to go through it, no? Why? Let's look for better ways to go through it. Otherwise, life is miserable. Yeah.
That is good. That is good. And I totally agree. I think as physicians, we see a lot of, not just the common medical problems like high blood pressure, diabetes, but a lot of patients come to us with mystery kind of symptoms. They've had a lot of tests done. And then as we start to talk to them, they start to talk about their life. And the funny thing too, a lot of patients will tell me, I think it's stress. And I'm like, it's my responsibility to make sure it's not a heart attack, it's not XYZ or something like your thyroid. But I really think most people, if you really sit down and ask them, what do you think it is? And they tell you stress, it is stress. It is stress.
Yeah. Life is lifing.
Yes, and I love the tips that you shared about having the proper mindset to whatever is coming towards you, and perhaps looking at it from a different angle. Maybe it's not so stressful. And I love the job security one as well, because even as physicians, a lot of us tend to complain, or even as residents, like looking back, I'm like, we had it good. Or like, oh, I have to see as an intern, I have to see 10 patients, I have to write 10 notes. And you're like so stressed out. But I remember one of my junior residents who was, I think she challenged me, but indirectly. But she challenged me because of the way she looked at it. She's like, I go home and I write down, I got to take care of 10 patients. If you have just that mindset, instead of saying I have 20 patients or 30 patients to see today, I helped 30 patients, like just flipping it that way is really powerful. And just to sit with it and say, so I'm really making an impact on people's lives. And then you're like, it's difficult, it's not easy, but it's worth it. It's worth the challenge. And having just that attitude of going into work and saying, I'm going to help XYZ patients, or I get to solve XYZ problem, is really powerful. I think that's very powerful. And I'd love for you to share more tips on how you manage stress.
Ooh, wow. So at work, I tend to also, I try to be present. So what are things like, I call it little like sprinkles in the day that I can enjoy. So a patient gives me a compliment. I don't just poop it and go, I'm like, you know what, thank you. And I let the feels come. So that helps dissipate stress. Then it's also understanding why I'm here, why I do what I do, the blessing that I am. And you know what? It's worth it. The trade-off, the cost is still worth it for me. And then it's also why I create an environment where I can thrive. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that's what I was planning for. In my head back then, I would be like, you know what? If I never had to practice, I wouldn't do this. Or when I have practice, I wouldn't allow this. So we have a low threshold for, like, we don't, the workplace gossip, the click and click things. So there's an atmosphere of this laughter. We have music, worship playing in the background. When it's lunchtime, we turn off the lights. So it's quiet. So it's things like we curate an atmosphere where there's a teamwork atmosphere. It's not, I'm not competing against you, I'm working with you. So one of the criteria of having team members work with us is to have a mindset of, oh, how can I help you? Not this is just my job. So I have front desk people trying to give shots. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that's good, but you gotta get trained. And then the back desk say, I want to learn how to do front desk so I can help out. Or I can do this. So that makes life, it's because we're busy practice, but it makes it easier. So can you curate a team? It's also delegating well. And this has been, some days I forget, this has been a big help. There's never a time where I'll have nothing to do. So I should stop chasing that illusion. So now I don't say, oh, I have 10 things to do. It's 10 things to do. Two were the most important. I did the two. Yay me. It sounds simple and silly, but I'm telling you, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's the same thing with adjusting my goals. Like my husband telling me lately, he's like, I think you're trying to put out too many fires. He's like, you seem over, like, you know what? This quarter, I'm going to focus on training. Just training. That's it. I'm not adding anything to this. So it was such a weight lifted. So there's never a time where there's nothing to do. Know that for real. And relieve yourself of the pressure to say, I'm done. No, it never exists. So what is most important? Stay in that zone of engagement, engage in that zone and stay there. And sometimes that thing that's important is a good nap. Yeah, it's a good, like that's a 20%.
I like that. I really like that. Like I'm like taking mental notes and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this and take notes. But I think for me, two powerful things you said are knowing, even though there's a lot of things to do, prioritizing what needs to be done and just focusing on that one thing right now. And I think you're just accomplishing even that one thing because you've prioritized it and you know it's the most important thing is so powerful. And then taking the nap. Yesterday, I think I had a busy day and there was like, we had a lunch break and I was so tempted to go and have a nap on the examination table. I didn't quite make it, but I'm like, naps are powerful.
My NP takes a power nap every lunchtime. We know not to disturb her. It's over time. And we know we don't disturb her. She takes a power nap. And she's ready to go. It's good.
She's a smart woman. Just eat your food and then rest and digest and then be ready to go for the last half.
Round two. Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Did you have any additional tips as to how individuals can cultivate a healthy mindset for themselves?
Studies have shown what you think about or visualize versus what the brain doesn't quite know the difference. Yes. So it works towards whatever you keep putting in front of it. So your mindset's paint pictures. Subconsciously, you got to do the mindset work. I used to get irritated by John Maxwell's books. I'll be honest with you. I thought they were simplistic. I thought they were boring. I'm like, why is this guy just talking about, like, just talk about stuff, go lift some weights or like something. Like he kept, so those books were like, my 20s, late, like 18, 19, I would take his books. I'm like, why are people? So mindset was not a thing. But I've seen leaps and bounds as far as what I'm able to do and how my world, my sphere of influence has been improved because of mindset shifts. I'm begging you, if you're listening here, just write down, take a one-day audit. Be sincere. This is where it's not good to deceive yourself. The book is going to be just for you. Write your thoughts, like for one day, all the thoughts that you think, write it down. Do a thought audit. I had to do this. I was shocked and ashamed of some of the things I was thinking about it, especially as someone who's a kingdom woman. I'm like, how would I think? Like, but the things that naturally come, and this is not a shaming conversation. This is, let's see, write it down and then look at them. If that happened to you, would you be happy? No. So then it's got to change. Now, is it living in a life, a delusion? Is it that word delusion? Life in delusion? No. It's saying these thoughts don't empower me. Let me change it to see what's possible, or at least something better than what I'm thinking. So when I feel agitated, I'm like, okay, what is making me feel agitated? Sometimes I feel like I don't have enough sleep time left in the day, and I work tomorrow. The Bible says he gives his beloved sleep. I can ask for the spirit of strength. He's done it before where 4 hours sleep, and I don't drink coffee. I feel like I had slept for a day. So I can ask for help. Or I can adjust my schedule. What is the problem? What's the thought pattern that's causing that feeling? And how can I undo it? Immediately I relax. So do a thought audit, write it down. Mindset, you are who you think. You are who you think. So change it. And even though you don't believe the positive version of it, still write it. You can trick your mind to believe it ahead of you. I remember reading that because I used to think, I don't believe that I'm beautiful. I don't believe that I can do that. I don't believe that I'm the kind of person. You don't have to believe it to start to think it. I said, "Woo, the sky is just, I could go way beyond the sky then." So that was another mindset shift, knowing that I didn't have to believe everything I said. I can still imagine till what I believe and what I'm thinking aligns.
That is awesome. And that is extremely powerful. You're right. We don't have to believe whatever we're focusing our mind on, and vice versa. If a thought floats into our head that is not serving us, we don't have to keep it either. I think that is very powerful. Auditing what we're thinking and then choosing to think what we want in the future on purpose. And I have another follow-up question. So, how do you stay consistent? Because doing this one day and then saying, okay, now I'm going to start thinking, I am beautiful, I am capable, like all these thoughts you want to think and you want to manifest in your life. Doing that one day is not going to happen. Doing it for 2 days is not going to happen. We need to do these things for a long time. What are your tricks to keep doing this consistently so that it actually happens in your life?
My answer is, it may surprise you. You know how we shower every day and we don't get tired? The work is unending. It's unending. I don't like that it is unending, but it's something I can't change on this side of eternity. So I'm not going to fight that battle. See, there's some battles like this. I used to think that as you grow up in maturity and in life experiences and as an entrepreneur, you're not going to think the same thoughts that I struggled with when I started the practice. Some of them are still here. It's diminished. It's a little upgraded, but it's a daily work. It's a daily shower. It's a daily mindset bath. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's daily. So don't get discouraged. Don't waste time beating yourself for still thinking like that. It just reminds you you're still human. Yeah, and the work continues. Yes.
Yes, I like that analogy. It's a shower, washing our brain. We are brainwashing ourselves to think of the proper way. But yes, we do need to have our showers every day. Otherwise, we'll not have any friends. And same stinky mind. Like there's some people who have such a mindset that is negative that either draining, and I will see you once a month. Because your mindset is like, meh.
Yeah.
I want to pivot a little bit to your thought process on how you tell your patients the quantity of life is just as important as the quality. So, how did you come up with this thought process and integrate it into the way you practice medicine? I'd like you to break that down for us a little bit. And then, what are some things that people can do practically to make sure that their quality of life is also good as they live longer and they get wiser and wiser?
It was a patient that kind of helped me hone down on this phrase a little bit. And it was before I started to practice. There was a patient, HIV positive, depressed. I was his last. They give you the ones that no one else wants to see. So I was that doctor. So they sent it. And I would be all like, yeah, I got to do this. And then one day he looked at me, he said, what's your problem? Like, why do you care? We're all going to die someday and somehow. And I was like, that is okay. That's fair. He said, but then there's a way to die. There's a way. If you have a choice, you can control. There are ways to die. And I asked him, I said, what are you looking forward to doing maybe next month? I didn't go too far out. I said, I want to travel and I want to buy a car. I said, there's a future you're looking forward to. Yeah, I guess. I said, there's a version of you that needs to exist to enjoy the car, no? I said, yeah. I said, studies have shown that taking HIV medicine actually increases your quality and quantity of life. So that's why you should take your meds. You don't have to die from AIDS, which is complicated HIV, where your immune system is shot. You can live a long life, and then when you're aging, you're like, Lord, it's time. I'm good to go. Yeah. All right, I'm out to make your peace, do all the things, talk to those who matter to you, and go. There's a way to do that. So I for a future that you want, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, there's a version of you that needs to exist for you to enjoy that. And the things we know that has been tried and proven over decades and centuries: eating well, movement, mindset, community, sleep, stress management. Right? Those are things I tend to emphasize a lot. Making water your drink of choice. So I say, what are ways that we can move closer in all those dimensions, like move forward? Just little habits that don't cost you too much. We batch them, we tag team someone in them, because those things help you be you for the things that you want, not me. And so in patient care, I remember when I got so excited, oh, your A1C went down. I turned my computer and he said, good for you. I was like, oh, it's not about me. So I started asking questions. How do you feel? The medicines make me feel bad. Oh, okay. We'll cut down on this, change metformin to extended release. Can you dance for 10 minutes, 5 days a week? Okay, dance. Yeah, don't exercise. Just dance. 10 minutes. So and then I slapped on a continuous glucose monitor. I said, give you a sample, put it on. You can see in real time what your sugar is doing based on your decisions. So I want you to align. We want to keep it between this and this. So I want you to do what it takes to keep it there. Exercise is one, eating protein first as opposed to carbs. So those are the things. So it becomes them, not my life looking pretty. Because I like that. I like my metrics. But what's important for you? And so it becomes a win-win, and then they're sold in on the quality and the quantity. I'm like, so how do you feel? So later you say, yeah, you know what? I feel better. The less medicine, it worked. I say, yes, you exercise, you actually feel better. As you eat better, you actually feel lighter, less weighty. Like it's what's in it for you. So that's the trick, selling it to the patient based on what's important to them. Yeah.
Wow, that story is so powerful, and it's a good reminder, specifically the story about this patient who's good for you, despite how happy you were about him achieving that A1C together with you. And I love how you didn't put up a wall and just be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. And next, move on to the next patient. But you asked him a question. I think that's so powerful to ask him. So what's going on? And then he told you, this is the metformin. And so many of our patients, unfortunately, have challenges with different medications, and it can be quite challenging to work through those challenges, because we know the medications can help, but I love how you just took the moment to ask him what's really going on, because I think that also lets him know you care about him, you want to help him, you want to give him the right medications, but there are options as well. So I really want to applaud you for that. And for our audience, if you're not a physician and you're a patient and you don't feel good with your medications, don't be afraid to let your doctor know that this medication makes me nauseous. We do know about these side effects, and depending on the time and the situation, we might tell you about some of the side effects. We can't necessarily list all 1,000 and whatever million billion side effects of every single pill we're giving you. But if you feel strange, let your doctor know, and your doctor should listen to you and will hopefully work together with you, maybe lower the dose, maybe try something new. But there's always a solution. And the potential side effects you're feeling, it's not, we know you're not making it up, and it's very important to tell your doctor, because we want to work with you. And our metrics are important because these metrics tell us about how good of a job we're doing in terms of supporting you to keep the chronic condition under control. So these numbers are important, but the way you feel and how you're doing and your perception of how you're doing is also extremely important. And going to the mindset, or like having chronic conditions. Having chronic medical conditions can be very challenging. Even having a new diagnosis of high blood pressure, especially if you're quite young or you've been healthy all your life, can be very challenging. And then having to take medications can be very challenging. So Dr. Tolu, I want to ask you, how do you support your patients who have chronic medical conditions in terms of their mindset towards having this chronic medical condition and perhaps having to take medications for a long time?
I remind them that medicines are a gift. I'm glad we live in an era where that's an option. It's shown to increase longevity, so that's good. But then it becomes a question, okay, sometimes I have to remind them how well they're doing. You've had these conditions for a while. Medicines are reducing. Yay. You're in less pain. Yay. You're able to do the things that mean the most to you. Yay. Help patients see what's working, because sometimes the brain is not going to tell you, well, you got off one medication, you're feeling less fatigued. Oh, yeah, that's true. Are you sleeping better? Oh, yeah, that's true. I hate the CPAP machine. But do you feel better when you wake up? Yeah. So you're high maintenance. It just means you're high maintenance. All. So it's demystifying or making it less of a, oh, I'm using all these things. You're high maintenance. That's what it takes to keep you. It's okay. So my CPAPers, I hate the machine. I said, but you feel better on it. Okay, let's work on losing weight, then we get you off it. And then it's also painting a picture of what's possible with the give and take. So if you move more, you'll feel better. If you started strength training, you would probably feel better and lose weight easier or reduce the weight regain. But strength training, I don't want to go to the gym. Okay, let's get weights. Let's put in your arm while you dance. Let's try some form of weight. Studies have shown in many of the chronic conditions, some of them can be reversed. You're willing to pay the price. I can help you. We can do 50-50. We can give you more meds to help, but also see what's working. You're less dizzy now. We took you off the blood pressure medicine. You've been exercising enough to keep your blood pressure normal. Just keep doing it. The same, so exercise is medicine, food is medicine. I tell them, okay, so prescription, 2 to 4 fish size of fruits and vegetables a day, every day of your life. Red deal? Okay, there we go. That's it. The conversations are dynamic, they're unique to the individual depending on the chronic condition, but it is possible to feel better even with it. Medications are not all bad, gift, but we'll add the lifestyle piece to improve the quality of life. I teach patients how to advocate for themselves. What is the problem? What is wrong? Are you feeling depressed? Is there a conversation you need to have with someone that's weighing on you? Are you hurting? Are you tired during the day? Okay, that's how I get the sleep apneas. The sleep apneas don't always come though. If you're tired of the day, oh doc, I don't feel like doing anything. You know, how often do you sleep? How many hours? When you wake up, how do you feel? I feel like I can sleep again. Okay. There's always better. Better is possible. Now, best, we may not get to, but there's a better version somewhere, even in the midst of the chronic condition. So let's work towards it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you're right. Thank you for reminding us that medications are gifts, because they are. And even just you and I, our journey in medicine has not been that long. But just thinking about, say something, a condition like heart failure. When we started residency, probably there's only one type of heart failure. And then now they're saying 2 types of heart failure. And then the medications to treat the heart failure are just proliferating. I think last time I saw like heart failure, there's 6 classes of medications, not including diuretics. It's a lot to keep up with, but it's powerful because we're helping people stay alive longer, stay out of the hospital longer, and live longer. But the thing is, with the technology we have now, the medications we have now, people can stay healthy, they can live long. And even with cancer, to me, we can't, I don't even think I should open this Pandora's box, but cancer, the medications that people are getting to treat their cancer, pills. Did you ever think when you went to med school or were starting residency?
There'll be pills. No, it was chemo.
Yeah.
Radiation. I mean, meds, actually, yes.
Yeah, so it's so exciting. It's a different way of looking at it. It's exciting because we can, for us as physicians, we have more ways to help our patients with less side effects, and they can live longer. So to me, it's super, super exciting. But Dr. Tolu, we have talked for a long time. I know you're a busy woman. You have a lot of things to get done. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. I need to have you back. I want to talk more about lifestyle medicine. I think this is something that people would love to hear about. So I would love to have you back in the future to talk more about lifestyle medication or lifestyle medicine, or ways to our lifestyle to improve our health. And I know there's a lot of natural foods and natural supplements that people could use or talk to their doctor about to improve their health. So I would love to have you back and talk more about that when you have time.
Oh, I'd love to. No pressure. You let me know. We'll make it work.
Absolutely. Thank you once again to our audience as well for listening to the show. If you want to find Dr. Tolu, we're going to make sure that we link her website, especially for those of you who are in the Texas area and you're looking for a family doctor. We will make sure we link her website so you can find her. Dr. Tolu also has a YouTube page. She is on, last I checked, Instagram. I think you're on X a little bit. Are you on a little bit? I think you're on Facebook for sure. You're on TikTok as well, I think?
I'm on TikTok. Yeah, I have some posted there. I don't go on.
Yes, so for everyone who wants to follow Dr. Tolu, if you're not in the Texas area, but you'd like to hear more about how she helps her patients and learn how to improve your health, especially to improve your health in a natural way, we will make sure that we put the links to all her sites below. Thank you once again, and we will have Dr. Tolu back again. Bye-bye for now.